Support vector machine is another algorithm used in machine learning. It is mainly used for classification and regression problems. Mostly it is useful when we need classification for binary categories. We know that kind of problem can be solved using linear or logistic regression, where we separate the categories by a line in the space. Now it is possible that there can be multiple lines which can divide that data points. But in SVM, we try to find the best line that separates those categories. But how do we define what is best? Suppose this is the space with all the data points. Now here SVM tries to find a boundary that has maximum margin. Margin is the distance between boundary and the nearest data points from both classes. So imagine you draw a line that separates two classes. Now look at the closest point from each side. The distance from those points to the boundary line is the margin. The main motive of SVM is to maximize this margin because with this, the model will be more confident while doing any prediction. You might be wondering what is the meaning of support vector in this. You see these closest point to the hyperplane from both the classes. These are known as support vectors. So even if you remove other points which are far away from the boundary, the model does not change much. But if you move these support vectors, the boundary also moves. That is why the algorithm is called support vector machine, because these vectors are supporting, or we can say defining, the boundary. Hyperplane in this data space is an area that divides both the classes into halves. That area itself has two boundaries, positive and negative hyperplane. These are like the gutters on the sides of the road. They sit on the very edge of each group. The space between these two gutters is the margin, and the hyperplane sits perfectly at the center of this space. Now, even the margin is also of two types, hard margin and soft margin. A hard margin is the one with maximum value margin, which separates the data without any issue. And soft margin, on the other hand, allows some misclassification for the data, which is not perfectly separable. Now, let us understand how does SVM actually work. The main goal in SVM is to identify the hyperplane with maximum margin, and that margin is the distance between hyperplane and support vectors. The best hyperplane is considered the one with the highest margin, which is also known as hard margin. Now, with hard margin, the separation between classes is very clear. Suppose these are the data points in the space. One is blue class and other one is red class. Here L0 and L1 are the positive and negative hyperplanes, also known as gutters. And here we have L2 in the middle, which has the maximum distance from both the support vectors. Now here you can see the hard margin is possible because we can classify both the classes clearly without any misclassification. What if the data looks like this? Here we have some outlier data points from one of the class. So SVM will ignore the outlier and find the best hyperplane with maximum margin, which is also known as soft margin. But in addition to ignoring that outlier, soft margin will try to minimize the penalty due to misclassification. The penalty is used for misclassification is known as hinge loss. So if the data point is correctly classified and also within the margin, then there is no penalty, which means hinge loss is zero. But if the data point is either misclassified or not in the margin, then the loss will be according to the distance between correct classification. Now, all of this is good and applicable only if we can separate the data linearly. But the real data is mostly non-linear. So in such cases, SVM uses a technique called kernels. In this, instead of trying to separate the data into same space, we transform the data into a higher dimensional space. In this new space, the data might become separable. This transformation helps SVM find a decision boundary even for the non-linear data. A kernel, we can say, is a function that maps the data point into a higher dimensional space without computing the coordinates in the space. This allows SVM to work with nonlinear data as well. Now, based on the type of boundary, SVM is broadly classified into two types, linear and nonlinear SVM. As the name suggests, linear means the data can be classified using a straight line, and nonlinear is when the higher dimensional transformation is required. Support vectors are very good at classifying higher dimensional complex data using flexible nonlinear boundaries. With all of this and still remaining memory efficient. But just like other algorithms, it also has some drawbacks. SVM is not good for large and noisy data sets because it slows the training speed, very difficult to perform parameter tuning, and it is very sensitive to the feature scaling. Now, if we connect everything together, SVM tries to find a boundary that separates classes, but instead of just separating, it maximizes the margin. Only a few points called support vectors define this particular boundary, and when data is not linearly separable, it uses kernels to handle the complexity. Now, till this point, we have covered a wide range of algorithms, each one solving problems in a different way. But in real world scenarios, the model is only one part of the system. What actually matters is how the data is prepared before it even reaches the model, because even the best model will fail if the data is not handled properly. So, in the next part, we will focus on how data is processed and prepared so that these models can actually perform well in the real applications. So, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned and let's keep learning.